Hey everybody, here we are again, Bird Brain 66, the getting closer to the end of the year because we're actually going to put this out before the end of the year, hopefully. Fingers crossed. But here I am with my good buddy Brian Bretch over there on my left or my right. Hello, Brian.
Hey Andy, how are you today?
Doing great. Today we are going to talk about the 1995 top of the Donruss top of the order set. It's a game card set that was released in 95, and over the years we know different companies and Tops or whoever has released different types of card sets. This one's kind of obscure because a lot of people haven't seen it, don't know about it, or never heard of it, but fortunately we both have this set, and just wanted to introduce this out to the folks out there. So what are your overall impressions of this set, Brian?
So I do like it that, this was one of I don't know if it was the first attempt, but it was an early attempt by a card company to kind of marry the gaming world together with baseball cards. And in true fashion, it looks like a card that you would use from the company Bicycle. Um,
Yeah.
and it's got a cool looking back to it. I like the stats on the front of it. And what I'm going to give props to right out of the chute, I don't know about any of the other teams, but what I love about the Cardinal team, it's all action shots of the players. I thought that right out of the chute for me, that my first impression is awesome job by Donruss on this particular set. What about you? What are your impressions?
Same thing. I mean, very nice photography. Donruss did a good job with a lot of their photography over the years. There's the wizard. Can't see him in the penny sleeve too well, but let me fix that.
Well, it's also a thicker stock, so it even feels like a deck of playing cards. It's got like a higher gloss to it than a regular baseball card. So it was definitely designed to stand the test of time with people playing the game itself.
Yeah, even taking it out of the penny sleeve, it's still got kind of a nice gloss to it. Yeah, it's a very cool set. 180 cards in each league for this particular set. I think I failed to mention that, and 380 overall in the set. Tom Pagnazzi. The other thing I like about it, a lot of Cardinal favorites in this particular set, and Pags being one of them here. And we just saw the Wizard, who just celebrated a birthday the other day.
Hmm.
And another guy who never got didn't get enough props here for the Cardinals, John Mabry. There he is. Actually led the team in hitting that year at a 307 average. Not that it's indicated on this card or anything, but I just thought I'd bring that up because
He's
that,
always one of my favorites. He was a hard-nosed player that did just about anything that they asked him to do. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't he have like three different stints with the team where he would be one of those guys that another team pushing for the playoffs would make a trade for John, and then it seemed like John would come back in the off
yeah,
season.
yeah, it seemed, here's another. And speaking of Cardinals that left and came back, here's one too. People don't realize that he actually left the team and actually came back in the 2000s for a very brief stint as well.
Boom,
But
boom.
yeah, and he's your home run and RBI leader for that year. 20 was it 25 and what the and 82. 25 homers and 82 RBIs. So we'd take that today on the team, wouldn't we?
Yes, we would.
And a lot of people didn't know Ray had that kind of power or don't remember it, but yeah, he was quite an impressive hitter back in the day.
Okay, so I gotta bring up this one story about Ray. You probably will know what I'm going to talk about here in just a second because it was against the Philadelphia Phillies, so I'll give a little bit of it away. But Ray was quite the overall athlete, great football player. And if you ever want to watch a great collision at home plate, I highly recommend that you go out and do a search. It'll be on YouTube and other places, but the Darren Dalton play at the plate where
Yeah.
Dalton's got it absolutely blocked. Ray is going to be out by a mile, and Ray puts his shoulder down like he's a running back or a linebacker, whichever you want to, and just absolutely plows over Darren Dalton, and Dalton drops the ball. Ray is safe, and um, Darren Dalton was never the same, in my opinion, as a catcher ever since then. But since that moment in time, but just a great great overall play at home plate, and just always loved Ray Langford's hustle. And yes,
Nice,
I think he was,
nice segue into football.
yes,
Cardinal outfielder
Atlanta Falcon.
and a Falcon right there. Yep. The great Brian Jordan. So yeah, a lot of cool cards in this particular set.
Well,
Another
do me a
fa
favor. Yeah,
another
yep.
favorite right there.
Another and hometown guy in Mr.
Yep.
Gilkey. Looking for him in my set here. We failed to mention too, there's 11 Cardinals in this set, or if Andy did, I forgot that he said that at the top of the show. So, but 11 Cardinals. This is the local guy, and again, love the fact that these are action shots. I know we haven't showed everybody yet, but I want to go back to the Wizard here. One of the complaints that Andy and I have had in lots of our shows, we always see the Wizard hitting. Love to see the Wizard hitting, but you know what? Ozzie was known more for his glove than his
Right.
hitting and his defense with the 13 gold gloves, numerous all-star appearances, and again, props to Donruss. Here it is, an action shot of Ozzie. So I really love that. Who's the more difficult guy in the set? You mentioned it before we started.
That'd be Tom Hinkie. So there was a run of players in the set, and Tom's one of those that was I don't know if you call it short printed, that's probably what they call it now, but that wasn't, but they call it the rare cards back in the day. So for this particular set. So it was Hinkie for this particular set. And he was also had 36 saves that year. So out of the team that only won, what was it, 62 games, he saved over half of them.
Right,
This team is very familiar to the team that just in 23,
right.
under underperforming. So
Yep, definitely. Well, in my research, yeah, they didn't call it short prints in 95. They just called it a limited press run. And it was mostly guys like Tom Hankey, but even more so, it was superstars like Barry Bonds, Cal Ripken Jr., Mark McGuire when he was still with the Oakland A's, and
yeah,
those cards that are much more difficult to find. And obviously, if you try to put this set together, are going to be more expensive. Thankfully, I know that you put the set together, and again, Tom was pretty difficult. You don't have to say how much you spent, but how long did it take you to find the hanky card out there?
took a while, but as anything else, once you find something, then it pops up all over the place. So
Right, right. Well,
and you can also get a Scott Cooper in here.
yep. And there's another local guy,
Yep.
former Boston Red Sox, still is does a lot with the team. I know in the off season he's one of the guys that goes down to Jupiter and is one of the player coaches down there when the Cardinals invite Joe Fan to come down and spend a week in spring training playing some games and working out with the team.
Kenny Hill. Well, might as well just show everybody here. So
Yep. I loved Ken Hill. I'm not 100% sure if he just was a victim of circumstances with being on poor teams. I always expected a lot more out of him.
and Danny Jackson. So and of those pitchers that we have shown, like matter of fact, there's only two pitchers in this set for the Cardinals. Neither one of those were the team leader in wins, so this may also sound very familiar. Do you know who the team leader in wins was in 95?
I'm trying to remember here. It's going to be somebody that I'm gonna miss really badly. I'm going to say one of the Bennis brothers, but that's not. I know that's not right. Let me,
No, not a Bennis one of the Bennis brothers.
yeah. Bob Tewksbury.
Alan Watson
Oh my gosh,
led the team with 7 wins. So there you go, folks.
that is.
Again, very similar to the 23 team of things that occurred during the 1995 season.
Yep.
But good things were coming in 96. So, it'd be a total transition as ownership would switch and managers would switch, and all good things would lead up to a playoff run for the Cardinals in 96. Maybe we'll talk about
Well,
that again here very soon.
Well, what's interesting is, and when we do a set from 96, I'll have to dig through my many boxes that I've been trying to consolidate over the years. I can't remember if you remember this, Andy, or knew this, but I got a phone call like right before like a day before uh, the game between the Braves and the Cardinals in '96. It was a good friend of mine. I did my internship in college at United Press International, and he called me and said, "Hey, I cannot cover the National League Championship Series. Would you like to cover that for UPI?" So I got to cover all three games, which was awesome. Still have the notes somewhere, but the
Very
reason why I
cool.
remember that I mean, it was a cool series. Unfortunately, the Cardinals lost, but the thing that I remember most was being in the locker room when they came running down and told Brian Jordan that his young son at the time had overheated in somewhere in the stadium. I'm obvious it couldn't have been like in the air conditioned room. He was somewhere and overheated, and just Brian Jordan just dropping everything and just dashing right out of the locker room. And then the next day talking to him, and his son was fine, but just he went from being a
Yeah.
professional athlete to being a dad, which was pretty cool. And I wrote a pretty extensive story about him just being he had to take off one hat and put on the dad hat, and it was really really cool. So, but anyway, did we show all 11? I'm going back to seeing here. We
We
showed
did.
Hags, Cooper, Gilkey. Yeah, you're right. It does it we do have the two starting pitchers and Henke as the reliever, but yeah, why Alan Watson's not in here. But anyway, they picked who they picked, but again, I'm not knocking them for that. I just again love that we have action shots on all of the cards. And overall, I would give this set an A just because of
Oh
the
yeah.
design and this card stock and the colors, the action shots, et cetera, et cetera. Don't know anything about the game itself, but when you collect like Andy and I, when you see something cool like that, you kind of pounce on it and add it to the collection.
So I would be remiss if I didn't mention some the pop culture Van Halen 95 news. So what was it? Balance 1995 was released. So what's your favorite song off of Balance?
I don't know what it's yours.
Don't Tell Me What Love Can Do. I just like the guitar on the way
Yeah,
the kind of the toned down guitar on it. It sounds kind of a I don't know.
it's kind of
It's kind of I
tough.
guess that's kind of their grungy sound for Van
Yeah,
Halen back in the
yeah.
in mid 90s.
I haven't listened to Balance in a long time, but to tell you what kind of, I mean, I'm listening right now. I pulled it out and have it in the car, and I'm probably driving everybody nuts. No pun intended, but I've got the original Van Halen CD, their very first one, Van Halen, and I've been playing the heck out of that. So I go through spells. So I'll have to get Balance out. That's got a really cool uh, cover, though. I mean,
Yeah.
the album
Siamese
does.
twins that they had on there. Yeah.
Yeah. So I love that, but
Oh, 1995 was also the number one song was from Coolio, Gangster's Paradise. Number
I
one
like.
movie, Batman Forever, Val Kilmer. There you go.
Oh,
Tommy Lee Jones, Jim Carrey, Nicole Kidman. There you go. So there's some more pop culture for you. And also marked the debut of the Foo Fighters.
there you go. That's your
Uh,
other favorite
that's
band.
yes, self-titled, and Dave Grohl actually played all the instruments on that particular album when he first released it. So there you go. There's some pop culture for you.
And Dave's an excellent musician and just a good guy to, heck, we should just tag him sometime and ask him to
Yep.
come on, be a guest on the show. We'll talk a little bit of baseball, but talk music, but super talented. Love the Foo Fighters, and you kind of turned me on to the Foo Fighters. So thank you for that. But, then sorry I couldn't come up with a song from Balance right off the top of my head. Just again, haven't listened to it, but I do like that
Okay.
guitar riff from Don't Tell Me What Love Can Do. Cool stuff. So
Well, close
anyway,
this out, Brian.
all right. Well, before we do that, anything new on the wall behind you? You got to showcase some of your stuff that you got
I don't
back
know.
there.
There might be some stuff at the top you can't see. Let me take
Gotcha.
it behind me. I can't see from. Oh, let me see.
Still love that Coca-Cola.
I actually
Of,
knocked. I hit my wall and knocked them all. They may be looking a little uneven right now.
it's all right.
Oh, I'm gonna bring this up. Not part of this particular set, but this card from this year.
Hmm.
Team photo out
Excellent.
of team card out of the Heritage set. I'm sorry, nope, scratch that archive set.
Archives. 11 players. And what Andy and I are probably most excited about is they actually got creative. I love seeing Simba in the corner down there.
Yeah, they didn't, and they actually, you know, put all decent players on here for a change, and normally they'll throw in somebody you're like, okay, why in the world did you put this person on there? But yeah, great job by the Topps company on this particular card. So there you go. That's one of the
And
new
that's
ones there.
that's supposed to mirror, is it, it's the 69, right?
Right.
69
Yeah.
did the Topps team poster. So very, very cool. All righty. Well, when Andy spins back around, I'll close us out. Again, just giving Donruss one last kudos. Again, 11 Cardinal cards in it. Awesome if you can find this set. It is relatively inexpensive, except you might pay a little bit more for the hanky card, but appreciate it. But anyway, happy holidays, everybody. Andy and I appreciate all of your support through 2023. We've continued to gain on our social media followers and new people all the time. A lot of people now, again, commenting on different posts, and we certainly hope that you enjoy these where we do team set reviews, have guests like Tony Schaefer and Norm Sanders and the others who have joined us in 2023, if I can speak. So thank you for that. But on that note, we will close out we're all over the place on social. We just started on Threads, so we're there, X here on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. So on that, everybody, thank you, Andy. Great show. Appreciate it. Love the Van Halen reference and the pop culture reference as always.
All right. Well, thanks everybody. Thanks, Brian.